Hello everybody and welcome back to Dimension Sports in cooperation with Athletes in Motion for today's game of the week. Lake Michigan Midsummer Volleyball class. Levine in the far court taking on Aaron Garcia and Dave Hollaway in the near court. And the score 1-0 as Garcia and Hollaway, they have the lead. Phil Levine is serving. 1-0. Aaron Garcia will get the last bit of this ball right here, and he does over the outstretched hands of Mike Minear.
Gave him a little bit of a knuckle shot there. Mike's up there real high, just like some of the guys we just saw a few minutes ago. He gets up way high. It's amazing how big he is. He's about 6'6", I think.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's pretty tall. A great basketball player as well.
Is he? I didn't know that.
Mike Minear going up for this one.
Oh, good
right-handed smash.
He's pretty much unstoppable. The thing I don't understand is why they would serve it at him in the first place. If I were Hollaway and Garcia, I would not be serving Minear, period. End of statement.
The score is 1-0. Garcia.
I had the unfortunate experience of playing Mike Minear about, I think a month ago in a beach tournament. I was playing with Mike Wilhelm. I had the unfortunate experience of playing against him. He's very good. He blocks balls. He's big. He's quick. He's strong. He's tough.
Hollaway will be serving right now. They have the lead 1-0. Hollaway and Garcia. And the shot Hollaway can't get to it. Steve, we made you take off your incredible fashion statement, your beach hat, over the headphones, because we can't see over you, Steve. We thought we'd give you a smaller chair so we could see you over.
Call it what you want, but I call it protection.
Yes.
It's hot out here.
Yes, it is.
Very warm.
Dave Hollaway, Mike Minear at the net.
Oh.
Minear blocks it, but he blocks it out of bounds.
I think Aaron and Hollaway both have excellent setting ability. The only thing, in my opinion, this team here is lacking is experience. If they can overcome their inexperience, these two could go all the way.
Garcia serving. They have the lead 1-0.
What's your prediction, Paul? I want to hear it right here now.
Well, you know, Garcia got to the semifinals last year. Phil Levine and Mike Minear.
Good night.
2-0. I say that Garcia and Hollaway right now have been playing very good volleyball. And Phil Levine, they have the experience. Phil Levine and Mike Minear, they have the experience.
Make a decision then. I want to hear it. I want to hear your guess.
Boy, that's a toss-up. It really is. You got 4 excellent volleyball players out there.
I tell you, before this semi here, I would not have guessed Dwayne and Chad to go all the way, but after that good game they showed me last game, they're going to be hard to beat. I still haven't made my final decision. I guess once we get the winner of this, we'll predict who we both guess is going to win, but until such time, we're going to have to just let these guys play.
Chad Jones and Dwayne Utterback, the winners of the first semifinal game over Darren Utterback and Kurt Riedel, 15-13. They were also the same two that beat last year's defending champions, Blackburn and Barnett.
Good. Nice shot by Hollaway right there. I tell you here, the thing, Aaron, did you see that hit he did a minute ago? Sheer athletic ability. Aaron just jumped up and unloaded on one as good as I've ever seen.
Well, Aaron is one of those guys, Steve, that he's very cool, a cool player. But when he gets pumped up, you can see it. He's all over the court.
I like to take a little bit of credit, even though I probably don't deserve it, for working with Aaron. I've spent a little bit of time talking to him about psyche, and that's the thing about volleyball that I think is the biggest part of volleyball, in my opinion. Physically, most of these guys are very comparable. Some are a little higher jumpers, some are faster, some are this, some are that. But I'd say volleyball, you're talking 80% mental once you get to this level.
There is a timeout. The score 4-0. Garcia and his teammate of Hollaway, they have the lead. We'll be back with more volleyball right after this. If you're caught out in the freeway, remember that A1 Transmission Service is your stop for all your transmission needs, serving all of Orange County.
Well, I drive my truck about 100 to 150 miles a day, so it's important that I have my truck. I noticed it was hard shifting on the freeway one day. I brought the truck home, and the next day there was a puddle of fluid underneath it, so I knew I had a problem. I called 3 different places for an estimate, and then I called a friend who recommended me to A1 Transmission. I called them. They had very reasonable prices. They promised to deliver it to me in a quick, timely fashion. They promised to use quality parts, which in fact they did, and they also promised free towing. So I got the whole package in one. And the best thing of all is my truck runs great, the service was fantastic, and I'd recommend A1 Transmission to a friend.
With locations in both Santa Ana and Mission Viejo, A1 Transmissions eliminates the middleman. Give them a call for complete driveline repairs.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Dimension Sports and Athletes Emotions Game of the Week. The score right now, make it 5-0 because Aaron Garcia and Hollaway, they have the lead. Steve, tell me about this lead of 5-0 this early in the game.
I tell you, it wouldn't be a big lead except for the fact they scored 5 straight points on the bad side. That's amazing. And this wind, it is a huge advantage, and they just scored 5 on the bad side. Don't be surprised at all. Don't even think about being surprised if they get up 10-0 here, because they are on the good side. I'm sure now that I said that, they'll prove me wrong, but they are in a very good position to go up to a huge lead. If they get 8-2 or 9-1, they are going to be hard to beat, which is very, very feasible in this event.
Holloway serving.
Nice knuckle jump serve.
Minear at the net, gets blocked by Garcia, but the ball goes wide.
I tell you, Paul, I don't know if you've ever noticed it here. Phil Levine here has been in the finals. He's one of these guys that's just always there. He's a good player. He and I were even considering pairing up this year before very last minute. My brother and I just basically had to try one more time. But I don't know if you've noticed that. He's got a problem with his elbow there. Did you ever notice that?
Yes, I did.
He has a calcium deposit in his elbow. He can't quite straighten it. It's amazing the ability that guy has to compete at this level. I would consider it a handicap because he cannot straighten that arm and he cannot reach as high as some of the other guys. And he competes at this level. It's
his right arm, you can see he kind of carries it half cocked there, almost like it's in a cast.
Yeah, I don't know if surgery was something that they just didn't want to bother with just because it was a minor deal or what, but he's amazing to me.
And you'll see him there setting the ball.
Here's a crush.
Aaron Garcia.
Just out.
Or pardon me, that was Mike Minear up against Garcia's partner, Holloway.
That was a pretty good set by Phil there. I don't know why I think Mike's getting a little bit down on his partner here, but that set was very nice.
Score 6-0.
It could happen 10-0 here. It could be 10-0.
Phil Levine at the
good
net.
Night, Phil. Heck of a hit.
A nice set by Mike Minear. Phil Levine from cross court nails it down for the winner in the side out.
Yeah, Mike, I tell you, his potential is unlimited. He looks like he hasn't been training as much as I would hope. If that guy got serious and trained his butt off, he could be a big competitor in the AVP, I believe. I don't know. I don't even know where he played in college. Do you know by chance?
No, I don't, but I know he placed 13th in an event last week to qualify for the AVP Tour.
Really?
Serves it wide.
That's saying something, I'll tell you. You get that far in the AVP tournaments, you're doing something. I've only won a couple games ever in an AVP tournament, and I haven't played very many, but you're not too many slouches out there. He's got a great serve here. He could get an ace here. Oh.
That had a little knuckleball effect on it.
Yeah, they won't be serving it at Mike Minear too much if they're smart. I would definitely not be serving Mike. But Phil, on the other hand, has got some great shots. He's got some great cut shots. He's very deceptive.
Score 6-0.
Everybody keeps saying serve Aaron, but Aaron keeps putting the ball away. So
great block, Garcia.
Do you see what I'm saying there? They think Garcia is the weaker player, but the guy can hit so hard.
He's just had so much experience lately, too.
Oh, yeah. His physical talent. They came in second in the state, I guess. He played real well. He's had some problems with some minor cramping situations. I think that has to do with fluid and diet. Things that you got to work out when you're young. You learn your body. You know what you can handle. I've played in places in Israel where it's 120 in the gym and you got to drink a liter of water every single time out. I mean, you just got to know your body. You got to know what you can take. And I think Aaron's still at that point where he's learning what his body can take physically. There's a great up by Aaron. Aaron's, nope, over the net.
Mike Minear at the net. Serves it serves a little bump there to Phil Levine.
Phil tried the cut shot there. Didn't happen. He got Hollaway right in his face. He tried a cut shot, dropped it a little bit short.
And they look a little frustrated, Phil Levine and Mike Minear, but they're mature guys. They know what it takes to win this event.
I would not count them out by any stretch, for sure.
They need that one lucky break.
We could be looking at an ace here.
Aaron Garcia.
Oh, I tell you, they're up 7-0. They got to go for it. You got to bury the hatchet here at this point. They know they got them on the ropes here. They got to take advantage of it. They're having trouble. I don't know if I'd go with the miss serves. I'd be trying a little more conservative, but I would think if it were me over there.
Mike Minear serves it to Aaron Garcia. Back to Hollaway.
Hollaway is giving him some beautiful sets to hit.
Garcia and Hollaway 7-0.
I'm very impressed with Holloway. He's got some very nice hands. He's setting the ball.
This is good because this is good for Garcia and Holloway if they win this game easy, because they'll have to come back immediately and play in the finals.
Yeah, they are not going to be nearly as fatigued, even though they just played. Dwayne just had a brawl. I tell you, if this match continues as easy, oh, right down the field goal. If this match continues as easy as it looks like it's going to be right here, I would have to give them the advantage just because they're not as tired. But I would not count these guys out. They're going to probably score some points before it's over here.
I got a great little thing that I found in the newspaper the other day. It describes that block that we just saw there. They call that a 7-11 block, and it's called that because it's a bad two-handed block in which the hands are too far apart. Opponents have little difficulty hitting the ball between a 7-11 block, so named it because it's open all the time.
Oh, I get it, 7 o'clock and 11 o'clock.
Exactly.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
And it's open all the time, like 7-11.
Where did you get that article?
Isn't that great?
I saw that article. I was wondering, where did you get that?
I got this out of a local newspaper. They're talking about that.
That's a great call. Let me see if all those things are accurate here. The spader, that's correct. When you
I'll hold it. You read it.
And a spader, they call a spader when you get a great jump serve and they score. Service or good point. Spike.
This is basically what we're saying. This is the lingo of volleyball. There's from time to time we'll tell you some of these terms.
I don't know if I've heard getting homered. What does that mean? Why don't you read
when
that?
When a local referee rules in favor of the home team.
Now,
this is a local event, so I guess every call is going to be a homer.
It didn't ring a bell. It didn't ring a bell.
The score right now 7-0 still. Garcia and Hollaway have the lead, 7-0, and Minear and Levine are serving right now with Mike Minear.
I don't know if I'd call it, they have a term here, tweeners. I don't know if I've heard that. We call it the husband and wife. The no communication.
That's right.
I got it, you take it, I call it. I've never heard tweener before.
Aaron Garcia on the hit.
Point scoring opportunity here.
Mike Minear smashes in the face of Hollaway.
7-1, they scored one. They got the monkey off their back. There's nothing worse than getting doinked in volleyball. Nothing worse than not scoring a point. So they got the monkey off their back. Now they can go from here.
And our next time out, we'll go down courtside to Bobby Stout with Phil Serens. Phil will be working on some of the players, and he has been working on the players throughout the course of the event.
I have some interesting terminology I could probably add to that. I've created my own little garb for beach volleyball when they're this, that, or
Great shot by Mike Minear. Hollaway got to it somehow.
Great rally going on here.
Mike Minear playing with a smile on his face, and that's why.
7-2. Scored another one. See, if they could get to 7-3 and go to the good side, they'll be looking good. See, they're scoring on the bad side, too. Everybody's defying the rules here. They've scored 9 of the points have been scored on the bad side.
7-2.
It's amazing to me.
And in our first timeout, we'll go down to Bobby, who's getting ready for that interview with Phil.
Who's going to interview?
Phil Serens, the chiropractor that works on all the athletes. And
Bingo,
there is going to be a score.
7-3, going to the good side. That's a great break for them.
Well, there's a timeout on the court. And again, Bobby Stout courtside, talking with some people down there. Bobby Stout and Phil Serens, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Phil Serens, he's the Serens chiropractic, and he's been working on some of the players out here today. Phil, tell me about the heat factor and what happens to the players out here today.
Well, one of the things that happens, we get some cramping. In fact, right now it's probably over 100 degrees on the playing field, and luckily there's a little bit of a breeze, but in fact, Aaron Garcia was having a cramping problem earlier. I had to work on that. We try to get him to eat a lot of fruit, bananas for the potassium, some calcium, magnesium before the game, and then lots and lots of water. In fact, some of these people have already gone through 1.5 gallons of water.
What are some other problems that are typical that happen that you work on while you're out here?
Low back problems, upper arm problems, shoulder problems because of the hyperextension that they do when they're serving. Those are the main things that I see out here.
How many players have you worked on since this tournament began yesterday?
A lot. I don't know. Yesterday, it was amazing. Yesterday, for the first 2.5 hours I was here, I never got to look up. I kept looking down at these guys, and I was really busy. Today, since it's the finals, there's a lot less players playing, and the ones that aren't playing, of course, aren't bothering me to work on them, which is fine. So it's been limited. But like on the field right now, Phil Levine and Aaron Garcia, I worked on them both before the game.
How would you say, has that been affecting their game at all today? Did they have any serious problems, or was it minor?
Well, hopefully it was minor, and hopefully it affected them both in a positive way so they can do the best they can out there. We want them to do a good show for the people, and we want everybody to be able to play to the best of their ability. So that's my main goal when I'm out there working with them. Phil Levine has a lot of muscle tightness and muscle pain. I think part of it is because as Phil is one of the older players on the field right now, it starts taking its toll. Where Aaron Garcia is a young buck, but he doesn't stretch really enough. We've discussed this, and he's on his way to Stanford, as you know, and I'm sure the trainers there are going to really work with him to get him in a big stretching mode because he's very tight.
Great. Well, thank you, Phil. Let's get back to the action. Paul?
Phil Serens working on the athletes here from Serens Chiropractic. The score 9-5. Aaron Garcia and Dave Hollaway have the lead over Phil Levine and Mike Minear. And from time to time, we have had our power surge here, and the guys here at Lake Mission Viejo doing a good job of getting that back on.
Things are going pretty good now. It looks like I'd have to say Minear and Phil are on a little bit of a roll here. They're starting to come back a little bit. They're on the good side now. Aaron looks like he's letting up a little, Paul. It looks like I don't know, he's had that problem with his muscles cramping. I hope he's not going to have a problem. It is hot out here. And it looks like Phil and Minear are coming on strong here.
Served wide, long by Mike Minear. So Garcia and Hollaway will serve it up, and Hollaway will serve it 9-5. First team to 15 wins.
You see the sweat dripping off of Holloway's chin. It is hot down there. People don't realize how hot that sand is.
And at one time, you were watching athletes wear the socks. They had socks on sometimes, and I know that from time to time that gets kind of irritating because your socks fill up with sand and you get kind of heavy out there.
I don't know how these guys can play without socks. Let me just put it that way. My feet crack.
Because you do play with socks.
I play with socks. I'm one of the goofy guys that plays. My feet crack and bleed. I can't handle it. These guys, they're playing like it's no big deal.
Excellent shot by Dave Hollaway.
Hollaway with a great hit. Look at his shorts. His shorts are wringing wet. Those got to be 5 pounds of sweat on those shorts. He's got to wring those out in the timeout. Look at the sweat dripping off of him. He is hot.
Aaron Garcia will serve it up. Former graduate of Capistrano Valley High School on his way to Stanford on a full ride.
He's taken a little bit off his serves. There, he got a nice hard serve there.
Phil Levine was going
Hollaway
for the right
with
side.
Sweet block.
Hollaway, as you said, comes from nowhere, goes up with a great block and smashes it down.
Hey, Paul, where's that terminology list here? Let me see that terminology list again. Let me see what they call a block. I don't know if they have anything interesting there.
Ace and a spader.
No, that's the old.
Or pardon me,
That's a jump serve. Block would be.
The score right now is 10-5. Garcia.
What do they call that? Not six-pack, not a dink, tweener, acer.
Spiking, crushing, hammering, pounding, hitting the ball hard from above. I know that's one thing.
They don't have it here yet. I don't see a term on there. I call it the slam stopper.
Slam stopper. Well, right now we're stopped down. The score 10-5. We'll step away and we come back. We'll have more volleyball right after this.
Gin Japanese restaurant located in Laguna Niguel is proud to have opened their all-new sushi bar. For quality and friendly service, try Gin's Japanese cuisine. They have a wide variety of sushi and various entrees that will have you coming back again and again. The Gin is a perfect place for all special occasions. Visit Gin and experience Japanese dining at its best, a place for the entire family. Try Gin's all-new sushi bar or call for takeout at 643-0442.
Welcome back to Dimension Sports and Athletes Emotions Game of the Week from Lake Mission Viejo. It's the 11th annual Midsummer Volleyball Classic. The score right now 11-5. Aaron Garcia and Dave Hollaway have the lead over Phil Levine and Mike Minear.
I tell you, Paul, it's getting real tight. Our Garcia and Hollaway are they're in the driver's seat. 11-5 lead. They're on the good side. They're in the driver's seat. It's up to them at this point. And Hollaway has all of a sudden become the greatest blocker on the beach. Everything that's hit anywhere near him, he's getting his hands on.
Garcia.
Great shot. He's going to have to come up with a great hit here.
Mike Minear.
Garcia with a great athletic play.
Oh, this is one of the best points of the game so far. Nice shot.
Nope,
Garcia's got to get to it. He can't get to all of it.
Round of applause. Oh, my goodness.
By Phil Levine and Mike Minear, but an excellent effort on Aaron Garcia, and he'll get a sand timeout here.
Which guy do you congratulate? There was about 8 great plays there. Aaron made a couple of great diving saves. Hollaway made a couple of blocks. Everything just one after another. Great plays by these guys.
11-5 with the side out.
My prediction, Paul, I am going to go out on a limb. The winner of this is going to win the tournament. That's my prediction.
Okay.
I'm calling it prematurely.
All right, all right.
No offense. I'm not knocking anybody who they're playing, but the two of these teams I think are the caliber, in my opinion. This is a good even match team here, and I just got a feeling the winner of this is going to take it. And I think if Aaron gets hot, if Aaron can play steady as he's been playing, they will win this. But I think a lot of it lies on Aaron's shoulders here at this point.
Aaron Garcia, and there's one of the referees on the AVP tour standing there. They all have the killer loop sunglasses.
That's Tim Wetzel up above. I'm not positive of underneath's referee's name. Tim Wetzel up above. I used to play at Orange Coast City College. He was my coach.
And they've got the tour referees out here to make sure the event goes smoothly. Because remember who used to ref it in the years gone by. The players that had just lost would ref the next game. Sometimes it didn't work out too advantageous.
There's too much emotion caught up in this. I mean, volleyball is an emotional game, and you get somebody who just lost a controversial point game or what have you, there's going to be a little sour grapes. I don't care how even of a competitor you are. You just don't like to lose, and you're going to carry a little bit of a grudge going into. If you're reffing, that's just not right. So I think it's great they did this. Definitely another advantage.
Doing a good job here. And right now, a short timeout. Score 11-5. And getting ready for some more action. All kinds of action on the court side, and Bobby Stout will be giving us some more reporting from the sides. Actually, she'll be talking to Darren Utterback, the loser of the last semifinal game. Aaron Garcia at the net. Great job of just dinking the ball over and playing good strategy volleyball.
It looks like Hollaway's setting him just the right distance off the net where big Mr. Minear, the big monster up there, can't get his hands on it. He's jumping up there, climbing the ladder, trying to slap at the ball, but he can't get his hands on it. The sets are just far enough off. Phil with the knuckle poker down the line, but he was all over it. Good night. There you go.
Nice
There's a point
hit by Holloway. On our next stop in the action, Bobby Stout will be talking to Darren Utterback, and we'll do that as soon as there's a break in the action. Don't want to cut away too much from the action on the court, as these guys are hitting up some great serves and they're playing some good volleyball.
We got a big breeze here, Paul. Let's see if he goes for it, which he did. Nice pass.
Phil
Nice
Levine
set.
sets Minear
Good
on
night.
the cross-court shot for the side out.
I don't know if you could tell, Paul. It all relies on the set. If the set is there, these guys are putting the ball away. And you're only going to get a good enough set if your pass is good. So it all starts with passing. These guys are playing a very good game right here.
Mike Minear serves it to Aaron Garcia, so Aaron Garcia will get the last hit.
Oh, he called a set on Holloway. Very surprising.
12-6 the score right now. They've cut the lead in half.
That's kind of, I would almost question that. Holloway didn't argue it, so maybe we got a bad angle. I didn't.
And again, we'll go to Bobby Stout and Darren Utterback at their first break in the action. The smash.
This would be a good time for a timeout for Aaron Garcia and Holloway. Let's see if they take advantage of this. They've lost 2 straight points. If I were them, I'd take a timeout. They might be taking one here any second. If they score again, they will take a timeout. I'll guarantee you that.
Again, score 12-7. 5-point lead by Garcia and Holloway.
Let's see what happens here.
At one time, they were up 6-0.
This is a crucial one right here.
Garcia goes right back to Minear, and Phil Levine went back to Minear, and Phil Levine hits it wide. And we'll take a quick look down on the side of the court with Bobby Stout talking with Darren Utterback. He just lost the semifinal game 15-13. Bobby Stout courtside.
Thanks, Paul. With me right now is Darren Utterback from the team of him and Kurt Rydell of the first semifinals. Darren, tell me you were talking to you earlier and you said you're almost going black from the heat factor out here. Tell me how that affected your guys' game.
We were having trouble with the heat, and we'd black out every once in a while after some of the long rallies. You end up running around out there, and there's not much breeze out there, and the sun reflects off the white sand that just gets really, really hot. And so whenever we got a chance to get wet towels and put them on our backs and everything, it would help us calm down. But I would say at the beginning of the game, we were having a lot of trouble with it. I blacked out about 4 times in the game. Had to just grab my legs and wait for my sight to come back. It was pretty scary. I thought we were going to have to just call it quits, but we kind of both got our second wind and got back into the match. It's a good match, though.
Tell me, what's it like playing against your brother on the opposite team?
Oh, gosh, I've done it my whole life. I mean, there's 5 boys in our family, and we just compete against each other, everything from ping pong to pool to basketball, everything. So I'm just used to it. We've been doing it our whole life.
Does that make it more competitive when you know that your brother's on the other side and you want to beat him?
I think you have mixed emotions. I think once the game starts, he's just not your brother anymore. And when it's over, he is again, and I'll be rooting for him when he's in the finals and everything. But before and after, he's just my brother. But once it starts, I don't think of it that way.
Darren, you've been in this tournament for 11 years now. Tell me, how's it changed over the years?
Oh, gosh. Well, we kind of started the 12th year. The very first year was actually down at Capo Beach. That's how we got the idea. And it was just it was a draw tournament. We just put a bunch of names in a hat and pulled them out, and that's how we got the teams. And then we decided to have a tournament here the next year. And I mean, we didn't have shirts the first year, and then we had artists do the shirts the second year. So it's come a long way. The prizes have come a long way. The players, the level of competition. There's a lot of good young players now, like and Godshawn Olsen, and it's just a lot tougher now.
Well, great. Good job today and earlier. Let's go back to Paul.
Darren Utterback talking with Bobby Stout, and the first thing that he was talking about, Steve Friedman, why there's a break in the action, the score 13-7, Garcia and Hollaway, they have the lead. But the first thing that he was talking about was the factor of blacking out and the heat, the reflection coming off the water and the sand, and that was causing problems. And I know that both teams are out there on equal terms, but sometimes the weather affects a player more so than the other.
Exactly, Paul. I don't know if you heard me earlier. I was talking about the heat, and people don't know. You're all sitting at home in your air-conditioned house and you're in your chair, your recliner with your popcorn and your Coke or what have you. You don't know what it's like out there. It is unbelievably hot. You were out there, it's like, have you ever been in a sauna, a dry heat sauna? You feel like you're sitting in one of those. That sand is 100 plus. The sand temperature is unbelievable. It's got to be 110 out on the court. It's unbelievable how hot it is. It's only 90 something outside, but on the court it gets that much hotter. It's a weird phenomenon, I tell you. I've been out there.
13-7. You've been out there for 10 years on this court. 13-7. Aaron Garcia and Dave Hollaway, they have the lead. Garcia will serve it with a chance to serve after this point if he gets it for the match.
Have you seen it much hotter than this, Paul?
I remember last year doing Coach's Corner on the lakeside. It was extremely hot. Today, thank goodness we had a canopy over our heads as Minear gets a nice shot, and he does it like a 7-11 block for Holloway. But I think it is one of the hotter days. I live in Dana Point, and I couldn't believe how hot it was when I got here today.
Yeah, you just can't, you look out on the, like I said on the TV, it looks hot, but you just can't picture how hot it really is. You know, you call that the 7-11. We call that the field goal.
The field goal.
I don't know. Everybody's got their different terminology. I call it a field goal when they go right down the middle. And I'm notorious for getting field goal because I try to take away the player's angles so they can't hit it cross court or line, and I give them down the middle. But I do that intentionally, and I tell my partner that that's where I'm going to give them.
Steve Friedman, 13-7 right now. Aaron Garcia singling to serve it to the 2. And he's saying, what's he saying right there when he's got this 2 finger up?
2 fingers means he's blocking Phil's cross court. Now he's not blocking. See how he's coming back? He tells his partner, I'm not blocking. It's a big strategy here. We can get into that a little bit more. Good night, Holloway.
Good hit by Holloway. So they'll serve for the match and the chance to play.
I predicted these guys were going to win about, what, 10 minutes ago?
That's right.
The only reason they cannot win is if Aaron has any problem with his cramping, or if he has any, he's got to put some fluids down between this game. He's got to drink a liter of water. It sounds like a lot. He needs to put some fluids in his system because he's sweating more than he realizes.
Serving right now for the match, Holloway. Have a chance to play Chad Jones, and there's the side out. Chad Jones and Dwayne Utterback await an opponent, as Mike Minear and Phil Levine are playing Garcia and Holloway right now.
I tell you, I hate to even mention this, but I did talk to Mr. Minear over there. I will be an A-rated player next year, and I told him if I didn't win this year that I wanted to play with him next year. and I would be technically able to. So I didn't want him to win because then he'd have to try to repeat.
There you go.
So now, if he lost, he would have an opportunity to play with me next year, so I would be excited. Oh,
big hit by Garcia.
Oh, good night. Aaron just snapped on top of that ball.
That felt good from here. Garcia just knew that was one that he was going to crash down, so he'll serve it for the match, 14-7 right now.
In my opinion, Aaron is probably, as far as physical talent, he's got the best all-around package of anybody on the beach. He's young, he's strong, he's fast, he can set, he can hit, he can do it all.
And he did that right there on the block.
The rest of it just comes with experience, you know. People have the physical limitations. I mean, his cramping little problem he's had, that he'll overcome. He will overcome that. My prediction is this guy here will be a big star in the NCAA.